Welcome to Catching You Up with Nadav. And before I introduce my guest, I'd like to thank the executive producer of this episode, the one and only David Finkel. If it wasn't for his big baller support, I would probably be going around casinos and just seeing like 1 cent, 3 cent, 5 cent gambles that people haven't withdrawn yet because it was too depressing to take a 5 cent voucher to the cashier's cage. But I'll just take all of that, put it all on black, and then just keep on doing that forever. And eventually, I'm going to hit something. But because of David Finkel, I don't need to do that. And if you want to become a big baller supporter of the show, you can go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description below. Welcome to Catching You Up with Nadav. Today, I am bringing on one of my favorite gambling influencers, and the whole scene is just fucking crazy to me. So I wanted to bring on Bluff to talk about it. Bluff, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you for the invite, brother. It was great.
Yeah, dude. It's I'm so excited. I met you while we were filming stuff for Crapsgiving, and
Crapsgiving.
I remember we were on Ellis Island, which is one of my that's where I learned how to play craps. And so
really?
every time I remember I went there like 10 or 15 years ago with a buddy of mine from college. We were going with all of his high school friends. And they all wanted to go see Lil Jon perform at some bullshit. And I'm like autistic, so I don't really like loud and places with lights and shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so our friend was just like, do you want to learn how to play like $5 craps instead? I'm like, fuck yeah. And then that's where we learned craps. And I was like, yo, Ellis Island is the fucking shit. I mean, I fucking rep it all the time.
Oh, I didn't even notice you had the shirt on. That's
Dude,
sick.
yeah. Shout out to Nick. You want to get taken care of, you hit up Nick over at Ellis Island.
Shout out to Nick.
And I remember like, since COVID, so many like gambling influencers have kind of come out of the woodworks, and it's all fascinated me. And for the most part, it was slots. And you were one of the first people that I saw to come out and actually just like focus on craps and different table games that you don't really see a lot. And you're responsible for me losing so much fucking money on bubble craps, but it's the most fun I've ever had losing money.
Yeah. Bubble craps is the game. I mean, it's just so fast paced, but yeah, I don't know. When I came into the gambling space, so many people were doing the slots, and I just looked at it as like it's oversaturated and it's hard to grow in the slots, niche.
Right.
So I just like instantly try to get into like the table game niche or table game era, basically.
So that's interesting because like I remember when I was going out there trying to film some content, the hardest thing ever was to get permission to film at these table games. And like Ellis Island was the first place I was able to convince to let me film there. But like, what was your process in making that happen?
So within 2 weeks, I had like some crazy growth, and I was like ready to quit my job.
Within
like,
2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I had like crazy growth. Crazy growth is unbelievable. So I instantly started emailing all these different casinos, San Diego, in Arizona, all the ones in Vegas that I used to go to when I turned 21, and none of them replied to me.
Yeah,
not a single one.
They don't like cold calls.
Yeah, not a single one. And like I just started 2
Right.
weeks prior, or a week and a half prior, and I only had like maybe 9,000 or 10,000 followers. But my friend Alex, Boulder Bets, if you're familiar with him,
not familiar.
he does like a lot of the roulette strategies.
Okay. Roulette scares me. I've lost so much. Like I have four numbers that just constantly fuck me.
He was actually going to El Cortez one day, and he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, like you should come. We should meet up and hang out." So that was going to be my first time to meet him, and I was like, "Oh, can I film there?" And he's like, "Oh, let me ask the manager." And he asked Adam, and he was like, "Hey, I have a friend that's coming. He wants to film. His name's Bluffin Bob." And he's like, "Oh, Bluffin Bob? Yeah, I love his videos. Like, have him come through."
Fuck yeah.
And then I met Adam, and I guess Adam really liked me, like, right off the spot. So Adam just let me film there every single day. And, like, basically since early May, I've been filming at El Cortez every day.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, see, that's what's so crazy to me, too, is that, like, you've been doing this for less than a year, and you've already blown up to such, like, you've surpassed so many of the other gamblers that I've, like, watched, too. Or, like, fucking Bluff is doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get too far deep into it, I want to know a little bit about your history, and then we'll get into like some real fun stuff.
Yeah.
So last night I took you and Brandon over to the mothership, and I learned a whole bunch of stuff about you guys. You grew up in Las Vegas, and for the most part, those people don't make it out alive.
Yeah, yeah, right. They're like zombies walking.
Yeah,
zombies.
they always have some sort of crazy pill problem or opiate problem, and it's like, we hung out last night, and they're 2-drink minimum, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll take a Liquid Death and a Coca-Cola, and you're like, okay, this is starting to make a lot more sense why you're as level-headed as you are.
Yeah.
So tell me what it was like growing up in Vegas.
I mean, growing up in Vegas, like, it's not as crazy as you'd think. I mean, I guess it just depends on what, who you surround yourself with.
Sure, yeah.
But I grew up at the skate park from like 10 years old till, I don't know, at least 20. So like 10 years, I was at the skate park damn near every day.
Skate park in Vegas.
In Vegas.
You're like, surround yourself with a good crowd.
Yeah, I know, right? I guess I picked and choose like the people that I hung out with at the skate park. But mainly when I was there, I was just like, I used to like ride the Razor scooters. So I used to do that professionally.
Oh, so you got fucking like calluses on your heels and shit from all those
clips.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that's why I have fake teeth. Like, yeah, I've knocked my teeth out. I've knocked myself out multiple times. Yeah.
You ever flipped on a scooter? Like,
oh yeah. I've tried a triple flip. Yeah. No lie. I'll show you the footage after. I'll send you clips if you want to put it in here.
It's got a million times fucking cooler.
Yeah.
So like, send me the clips. Here's a fucking clip of him attempting a triple flip.
Yeah. So I used to do that. And that's pretty much all I was obsessed with my scooter, and I didn't want to do anything else. Like, I didn't want to sit at home and play video games. I didn't want to do nothing except ride my scooter. So I guess, I mean, my childhood is like a little bit different, but I was so obsessed with it, and I kind of turned into like not a career, but a job. Like from like 16.
Oh, did you get like sponsorships 16. And stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got my first like professional sponsor at like 16, and I was making like $1,000 a month.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, which is a lot
for a 16-year-old.
16-year-old plus like in that industry, like you normally get like $200-$300 a month from like a sponsor.
Is that like skating in general or just scooters specifically?
Skating in general. So skateboarders only make their money off of sponsors outside of skateboarding.
Right. Like
Mountain Dew, Nike, Vans, stuff like that. The actual skateboard companies don't pay them that much, unless you're like Nigel Houston or something.
Right. They're like, we'll give you some decks.
Yeah, you got to be like crazy big, but typically you only make like a few hundred.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were you were scootering in the skate park for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
So I ended up getting like, I got to the point where like, I couldn't afford life off of my scootering money. Mm-hmm. Which was like maxed, capped out at like $1,000. But I basically was like, all right, like I need to like really get into a career. And at this point, I thought like career was donezo. First off, I should probably backtrack a little bit. Like growing up, so here's like a big thing that nobody knows about me. I do not tell anybody this.
Okay.
I dropped out of 4th grade.
No shit.
Yeah. So I dropped out of 4th grade. I've never completed elementary school.
For scootering?
So my dad, which in hindsight is not a great idea, so I definitely don't recommend doing this if you have kids. But so I was in public school, and my dad was like, "Oh, public school in Nevada's a sham. Like, I'm gonna homeschool my kids." So then he pulled all 3 of us out, and we did homeschool for like a month and a half or 2 months, and then it just stopped.
I mean, that probably explains why you're not like a degenerate.
True. I mean, I'm a degenerate. I'm a degenerate. But like, I'm not like,
substance addict.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
Yeah. So I don't do any of that. But so I mean that gave me the freedom to like go to the skate park every day. That's why I was there like, I don't know, maybe 12 hours a day.
No shit.
Like every single day.
Okay.
Yeah. So like nobody knows about that.
Damn.
There's only like a few people that know about that.
Fucking
like Brandon and then my girlfriend is the only people that know about that.
4th grade dropout.
4th grade dropout.
Guys, fucking drop out of school now.
I mean, like seriously, I don't know algebra. I know basic math, which is so funny because in my videos I'm like trying to add stuff and I'm like, I don't know math, and like nobody knows why I don't know math. It's fucking hilarious.
Just never learned.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to calculate numbers and I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's like 1175 and it's like 1350. It's like, yeah, I don't know math, so I'm not the greatest at that.
Okay.
But yeah, so that kind of stunned me. Plus, like I grew up extremely poor, like extremely fucking poor. Like I grew up. My dad was like super addicted to cigarettes for some reason. I don't know how you get addicted to cigarettes. I don't smoke, so I have no
super
idea.
addicted.
Yeah, like super addicted. Like 3-4 packs a day.
Shit.
Like would spend his last penny and then like try to find change and like ask us for money. It was fucking crazy.
Yo. Okay.
Can I curse?
Huh?
Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just make sure. But yeah, it was like fucking crazy. So like anytime we'd have like, piggy bank saved up and like funds were low at the end of the month, he would like need money to like go buy a cigarette. It's fucking crazy.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then so he was like retired military. So he did like a little bit of like poker dealing when he was like mid-20s, early 30s maybe.
Okay.
But ever since basically 21, he was retired because he got like medically discharged from the military. So he was on like the disability. But he was making less than like, I think it was like $27,000 a year.
Holy shit. Right.
So,
He's just getting like a stipend that's just
every month. Every month. So he wasn't making a lot of money. Plus he just like, after he had passed away a couple years ago, we had just found out like a couple months ago that he like built up like crazy debt that was like in the back end. It was just, it was a fucking mess. The dude, like he ruined his life. And,
holy shit. Went into debt for cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, shit, more than cigarettes. He was actually a degenerate gambler.
Okay.
So he took out.
And he hid that from you guys?
So he told us that he used to be like a big gambler, and he gives everyone's the fucking, oh, I'm a winner, I'm a winning gambler, I know how to do this and do that. He did hit like some crazy jackpot back in like the early or late 80s. That's how he bought our house. He hit like 120K on Keno. It was crazy.
Keno?
Yeah, Keno of all things. Couldn't believe it. But I guess he like hit that and then ended up buying the house. But he took out like second mortgages and crazy to keep gambling. It was crazy.
It's like, don't we want a vacation home?
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude's a degenerate gambler. It's actually in my blood.
Okay.
Actually, and then my mom's a dealer or a pit boss up in like Washington. But I didn't grow up with her. My parents were divorced.
Okay.
But yeah, and then yeah, I mean, my fucking life story is crazy.
Right.
Everyone has like their life story, like, oh, like I used to get beat by my dad, whatever it may be. But like, I don't know. I try not to look at it like, oh, I'm this way because I grew up like this. I just look at it and it's like, all right, like I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that for anyone else. So
right,
I want to like better myself.
It's an ingredient that you have that's helped form the decisions that you'd make.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's people's mindset on how you look at things. Like,
right,
oh, you grew up poor, so like you have a poor mindset, or you grew up poor and you don't want to be poor mindset.
Right. You see all the negative aspects of your parents, and you're like, don't want that. I will take this trait, not this one.
Yeah. Like here's another crazy thing. From like as far back as I can remember, 6 years old or so, to like, it went from 6 to like maybe 15. It was a 3-bedroom house. So my brother had a room, my sister had a room, and my dad would sleep in the living room. We had an office where all of our computers were, and I would just sleep on the floor in the middle of the office. And then from like 15 to 18, it became like my room. So I just like slept on the floor. I never had a bed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, literally would sleep on the floor with a pillow and like a shitty like Blue's Clues sleeping bag, which is funny because if my sister watches this, she'll know what I'm talking about.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up sleeping in a sleeping bag as your bed.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so what happens after that, dude? Like you know that you want to make a change.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the change that you make?
So, I mean, it was kind of hard because, I mean, I grasped reality as a kid. Like, I understood that we were really poor, and, like, I understood that, like, hey, I dropped out of 4th grade. Like, I'm probably fucked for the rest of my life.
Right.
No diploma, none of that shit. So
you're adding stuff up even though you skipped algebra.
Yeah, I'm like 14 years old. I'm like, oh, man, I'm fucked. So, like, luckily, I ended up making money off the scootering stuff, so that kind of, like, was like a cool start and gave me motivation. And I had like little jobs here and there, working at like a summer camp, action sports camp in Tahoe. So I did that for a while. So that kind of like supplemented the whole income. So I was making like a pretty good income every month. But I knew like it wasn't sustainable. I didn't want to keep doing that every day. Like it just, you destroy your body for pennies on the dollar. And I got over it. So I ended up moving out with an ex. But that was my first time having a bed. Is she like shipped her bed to Vegas? She moved to Vegas.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So
how old are you when you had your first bed?
19. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was letting you know. I grew up. It had a crazy life story. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we moved in together, I'm not gonna go too in depth.
Sure.
Respect to my girlfriend, but that was my first bed, and then we were together for a while. And I knew like I wanted to get into some sort of career, but I can't go to college. I don't have a diploma. I don't want to go get my GED because I'm already at this point, like I don't care. Like,
right.
And every job I had, at this point I've had like 3 jobs. So I worked as a dishwasher when I was 16, and I worked there for 3 weeks. I worked there at a Mediterranean hookah lounge.
Okay.
And one of the managers flicked like a used tip at me, and I just walked out. It was like insane. And then
like
I worked.
Disrespect you?
Yeah, to disrespect me. As I was eating my lunch, I was like, "Oh, like screw you.
What
yeah, like
the fuck?
you're a piece of shit."
Okay.
So, I just walked out of that job and just never looked back. And then I worked at that summer camp for the summer, and then I came back and I worked at Starbucks for like 3 months.
Okay.
Which was super fun. I worked with all like my best friends. It was super fun. It was a madhouse. And then I worked there for 3 months, and then I went back to that summer camp, and I was doing that like full time, and then through the winter. So I was like on and off with them.
You had like a cycle of just like, all right, this job, then this job, then this job, and just kind of rotate.
Yeah. Okay. And then when my ex wanted to move to Vegas, I had to like stay locked down in Vegas. So I needed to like get a job. So I kind of like grew a passion for cars when I was like 19. I got my first car.
Okay.
And I had like, and plus like on social media, all you see is cars. So it's just like, I don't know, it just drew me in.
Sure.
And I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, bro, how am I going to afford a car? Like, it's crazy shit that you think about like that.
Right.
So I grew a passion for cars. So I was like, all right, like I want to get into cars, but I don't want to go to a trade school. I don't want to pay for that. It's $50,000. So I ended up starting at this place called Valvoline. It's like an instant oil change, like quick lube, like Jiffy Lube type of deal. So I worked there, and I worked with like some, super cool friends that I still talk to today. I worked there for like maybe 2 years, maybe a little longer, but I ended up applying to like all these different dealerships as like an apprentice. I wanted to get in as an apprentice where I get paid, and then I also learn hands-on. So that's like way easier for me to learn. I can't just like read and sit there and watch. Like I have to like do it.
Reading manuals. And stuff.
I can't do that. So I have to actually work to like learn. And so I almost started at a Nissan store, and I declined that. And then Jaguar Land Rover in Vegas, they called me and they're like, hey, like, you want to come interview, whatever. So me and someone else came at the same time, and they just showed us around, and it was for an apprenticeship. They really liked me. They gave me like twice as much as I was making at the instant oil change place. So I was like, holy shit. I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
This is sick.
For an apprenticeship, let's fucking go.
Yeah. So I got hired by them, and then like I was working with this master tech for a while. He was supposed to teach me like all these things, but he's kind of using me in like a way to like just like make him more money. And the dealership saw that, so they took me away from him and kind of had me bounce around through all these other people. Okay. So it was kind of cool though. I was like learning from everyone.
Learning how to scheme, learning how to do it straight. Like.
No, 100%, which is funny here, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So I worked there for a while, but after about a year of I think it was less, maybe 8 months of apprenticeship, I went full line. So I was like by myself, and it's flat rate pay, so you get paid per car, per job. Or whatever. So I ended up
with no base pay. It's just like by the work that you do.
Yeah, so you get like an hourly wage, but like let's say you want to do brakes, and brakes pay 2 hours. If you finish the brakes in 4 hours, you get paid 2 hours. But if you finish the brakes in 30 minutes, you get paid 2 hours.
Gotcha.
So it's a pay per piece.
It rewards efficiency.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was very efficient. I became very efficient very early on. And a lot of the people there did not like that. So people were like, looked at me as like competition. They're jealous. They've been working on cars for 20 years.
Look at this young fucking whippersnapper.
I'm pulling up in like brand new cars. Like it was a madhouse. But I ended up getting fired there because I was doing like warranty fraud. If you're in the auto industry, you know what I'm talking about. But
what is the statute of limitations on that?
But no, there's like the like automotive warranties are like trash for technicians. First off, technicians like horrible. It's like it's the worst thing to be in.
Okay.
Like I would never be a tech again. It was good because I learned how to work on cars, so I don't need anyone to like work on my shit.
Sick.
But like let's say you have a car under warranty and you bring it in for a rattle, right? The tech could do all this stuff. They may make, I don't know, it's crazy how it goes down. Like they may make 12 minutes, but it took them 3 hours. So you gotta you gotta finagle the system and say you did all these things to kind of like make more money. So that's what I did, and I did that way too often there. And then I got canned there, and then I started at BMW because I wanted to move, but I was like, all right, like I'll try not to move. I'll just work at BMW. I worked at BMW. It was dead and super slow. And I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore. So I ended up moving to Texas, well, Dallas area.
Okay.
I lived in Louisville, and I worked at another Jaguar store there, and I was making a fucking killing. I was making like twice as much I was making in Vegas. It was sick.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was there for 6 months, and I got fired for the same exact shit.
But you were making the amount that you like. You I'm making 12 months worth of shit.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
So you got some padding. All right.
Yeah. So, I got fired from there, and I was like, God damn it! Like, I fucking hate this shit. And
how old are you at this point?
This is last December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right.
So this is in 2022.
Okay.
Of December. No, 2023 December.
Okay.
I got fired in Texas after 6 months of being there, and then I took like a month and a half off, and I was like, oh, like, what should we do? Like, me and my girlfriend were like, oh, what should we do? So we ended up doing she wanted to be closer to her family. Mm-hmm. I still wanted to work at a Jaguar store. So I was like, I mean, how's Arizona? Like, we'll just do Arizona. So we moved to Phoenix, got a job there. The dealership is super cool. The people are super cool. I mean, the guy that runs the whole corporate brand for them just like blatantly lied to me. And they're like, yeah, we're so busy. Like, we're overflooded with work. And as a tech, you know, if there's no work, you're not making $1. You're not making a dime.
Right.
Because it's pay per piece.
Right. So
I show up there, and it was like during waste management last year. So February last year in 2024, dead. For a whole week, I sat down, did nothing.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So like that's when I was like, oh my God, like I just made the biggest mistake.
Right. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was only there. I think I just hit my 3-month mark, and I went to a friend's wedding.
You're like, I can't even fucking commit fraud here.
Yeah. No, I really I can't. There's no way out of it. So my friend, one of my best friends was getting married, so we drove out to San Diego, me and my girlfriend, and we stayed at my friend's house, my friend Robbie, and so we go to I was like not a best man, I was a groomsman at his wedding, but we're staying at Robbie's place, and Robbie came to the wedding with us, and we're like, you know, I've known Robbie for years through the skate park. Like I told you, all my friends are from the skate park,
right?
Except Brandon,
right? Okay,
he's the only one not from the skate park, but I was talking to Robbie, and he's like, oh, yeah, like, I know Bretsky. Like, he kills it, like, doing the gambling social media stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, I've seen his videos on TikTok. The guy's, like, hilarious. I love that guy. And I was like, bro, like, I can do that. And he's like, you should. And I was like, oh.
Wait.
Okay, so.
No one has to, like, fucking sign me in. I don't have to apply.
Yeah, right, yeah, like a suit and tie interview. Yeah, so he was like, yeah, you should do it. And then, like, I just talked to him about it. And then, he came to Vegas the next week, and I just hung out with him for the whole week, just like talking about it, and he gave me some insight. So then for a week after that, week to week and a half, I was like studying all these gambling industry influencers, like Vegas Matt, Bretsky, DJ Dalt, like everyone, Cabrizi, learning how they make their videos, like what they do, what they film, what not to do, and like what does really good on their pages. And I just combined everything into one. I was like, all right, like this is what I'm gonna fucking do, and I'm gonna attack it.
Fucking
so
smart.
My stupid ass idea was, I'm going to create a series called Double or Dare.
Sounds like this went not okay.
Oh, not okay. I got to show you these videos too.
What's the concept?
So I was going to go into the casino, and you know, I'll put $100 on a color on roulette, and if I win, I don't have to do the dare. If I lose, I have to do a dare. And I let my friend pick my dare, and he's like, all right, like you have to eat a handful of crickets. Yeah, you see where this is.
These friends,
yeah.
Man. Friends like these.
Sure enough, I go into the casino and I lose $100. So I got to eat like this handful of fucking crickets. So I throw the crickets in my mouth, and I'm like in my garage. My girlfriend's filming, by the way, and I'm like trying to eat these crickets. They're jumping out of my mouth, and I'm
live crickets.
Live crickets.
My God.
Yeah, so
right now we'll cut real quickly to Bluff eating crickets. That's up?
Yeah. I actually have it archived, but I could give it to you.
Please.
And there's a worse one though. Honestly, if you go to my personal Instagram page, you'll see me eating grasshoppers and scorpions. It's crazy. I had like one video blow up on my personal Instagram, me like eating this huge dragonfly. It was yeah, I do a lot of bug shit. Not anymore.
Fear Factor was a big part for you.
Yeah. I actually love that show. But so like that was the first one, and like my friends are dying laughing at it, and I was like, all right, like this is pretty good. So I try to one up it, and there's only so much you can do.
Right.
to like one up shit like that.
Before you're like, look, I'm not amputating my foot for
Exactly. And I just like went straight for it. So second one is this one was bad, bro. I gotta really show you this one. So I go into the casino, I lose and I was like, yeah, my friend's gonna get like I gotta eat a cockroach. So my friend hands me this cockroach. It's a fucking Madagascar hissing cockroach. This big. And I shit you not, bro. It took me, how long did it take me? Like 15 minutes to eat that thing? just to put it in my mouth. I'm sitting there like, yeah. This thing, and it was hissing. And I was like, oh my God, bro.
It's kind of their thing.
Yeah, it is kind of their thing. So, I just go straight for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I might gag like talking about this. But I put it in my mouth and I like bite half its body off. Oh my gosh. I'm like a gagger, bro. It's bad. And so I like, bro, trust me, when you see this
was
video.
this your idea, or was someone like, dude, you should eat bugs if you don't?
This was all my idea.
All my masochist. Idea. All right.
So, sure, like, I go straight into it and I bite off half this fucking Madagascar hissing cockroach's body, and I'm like trying to chew on it. And oh my gosh, bro.
Drink water.
Oh man, I'm not gonna throw up. It's just disgusting. Like, it makes me gag.
It's texture, right?
Bro, like the crunch, and it's moving in my mouth. It's just fucking disgusting. Okay.
Fuck, dude. All right.
So, and I'm like gagging all over the floor, like trying to pick it up and eat it. It's fucking
what
horrible.
A trooper. What a fucking soldier, dude.
So I upload that video, right? And everyone's laughing at it. My buddy Robbie's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is not the plan.
This isn't what I told you to do.
He's like, how about you just go make gambling videos? And I was like, all right, fine. I fucking give up. Like, I don't want to do this. So then I just like went out and made like gambling videos. And we saw this one guy that was doing like a 10-cent per follower series. Mm-hmm. But everyone that does it does it online.
Oh, are you talking about Tim Mackey?
Yeah.
Dude, what a fucking champion that dude is. He's the one that like started that concept, right?
I don't know if he started it, but he was the one that
He's the one that popped from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we saw that, but there was like multiple people that were doing it, but everyone was doing it with like the online casinos. Mm-hmm. So you never know if it's real or fake money. I mean, when I see a guy doing 150K, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not fake, but shit, I mean, I would never do 150K.
Right.
But I wanted to bring that concept to a real casino in person, real cash, like, something that like, I don't know. To me, it was like really exciting because it's not like, it's real.
Because you're like, oh, they're at the table as opposed to like, the site isn't recognizable. Who knows what the fuck this is?
Yeah,
like,
it could be sponsorship and everything.
Right.
But like, in a casino with real cash, like it's not sponsored. It's not casino money. That is my money out of my account. Like it's fucking crazy. So Robbie was like, yeah, you should just do that series. So like first video I posted on Instagram is day one of betting 10 cents for every follower that I have. I have 0 followers. So let's, we bet nothing. And then day 2 I did like $30 or I did like $30 and then like it just like went crazy. Like I started trying to make them like funny. Like I would like make little skits. Like if I lost 5K one day, the next day I pull up like on a moped because I just had to sell my car. I had to pawn my car to and then if I won, I'd be back in another car or some shit. Or I'd be in a limo.
Fun fake storylines. Yeah. Like this is real life. Like
So I was just like creating like these skits to just like go along with the series. And I don't know, that was my favorite part of it, was just like being creative, like trying to make funny shit online. And then I was losing my ass. I was down like 40K on the fucking series.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because I was having like crazy swings. At the point I was doing like $5,000-$6,000 blackjack hands, roulette spins, and I'd lose like 6 or 7 in a row.
How do you have the stomach for that? Like once you're down for 40K, it's like do you have moments where you're like, yo, I think I need to fucking eject? Like,
So early on, I mean, I was a little worried. So a lot of people wonder how I got my bankroll. So I saved up for my career, and then when my dad passed, we inherited his house. Mm-hmm. It's me, my brother, and my sister.
Okay.
So we split it into thirds. I sold my portion. So I got like $100K for that.
Okay.
People wonder how much money do you need for like this stuff? A lot.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So, and then Robbie also helped me out with that too, getting started like
with the
behind the scenes. Some bankroll, behind the scenes stuff, strategizing and everything, because he's really he's like a fucking genius. He's like definitely someone that I ask for any advice in any industry or whatever. So, yeah, you need a lot of money. Well, the way that I did it, you need a lot of money. I had like over 300K.
Okay.
So, I mean, losing 40K of that, and that's like life savings, right?
Right.
That's like life savings. So I went
that's
all
like
the fuck in.
You're fucking with your safety net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
terrifying.
Yeah. So it got to the point I was down 40K, and like at that point, when people saw like the bigger hands, like the follower growth is crazy. So like I would gain like fucking 10K in a day. So that's another 1,000 on top of like the last bet every day. I think I went. I don't know how long did I go? 66 days or something. 67 days. So
my tits are sweating. Dude.
Yeah. So at one point I was down 40K, and I had like this fucking crazy. I think one day I won like a $9,000 bet, and then the next day was my 10K because I hit 100K followers in like maybe a month and a half.
Okay.
So I do this 10K bet, and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna let the audience choose what I'm gonna bet on roulette, and then if I fucking win, I'm a 10K bet. If I win, I'm gonna do a 20K bet and let you guys choose the fucking bet again. So I like posted on my story. They chose this. I think it was like they chose odd or even, and then they chose like 19 or 36. So I did a 10K bet, smacked it, won 10K. I got excited, but I wasn't even like crazy excited because I knew I had to do it again. It was like I was like, fuck yes, and I was like, all right, let's go back into it. And I'm like doing a 20K bet. This is my biggest bet ever in my life. So I'm 20K on 19 to 36. I'm letting these fucking people online choose it, right? 19 to 36, and sure enough, I think it hit 23 twice in a row. So I think I was betting odd, and then it went 19 to 36, and it hit 23 again. I was like, holy fuck! And then at that point, I was up 9K on the series. So I went down 40K in 2 days, up 9K. It was the craziest fucking swing of my life.
What a fucking sweat, dude.
Craziest one of my life.
Which I think is a life lesson, which is if you decide to quit gambling, those are realized losses.
Yeah.
And if you keep going, those are called unrealized gains.
You ever seen the guy with a pickaxe, like digging in the mine? Yeah.
He's just like one pickaxe away from all the diamonds.
Yeah. That was me.
Holy
that 10K
shit.
bet.
So, like, did that big win reinvigorate you where you're like, oh, okay, you just got to, like, keep at this for long enough? Like, do you figure out some sort of formula to kind of safeguard it and like kind of?
No, there's no. It's fucking gambling. Like I was down 40K, and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna be down 100K on this series. Like I'm fucked. Like I'm gonna be fucked. Hopefully this shit takes off. I was like, hopefully it does good. But you know, on Instagram, I don't get paid off of Instagram. I don't make anything off Instagram.
Oh, Instagram monetization fucking sucks.
Well, I'm not even monetized on Instagram, so I make nothing off Instagram, nothing on Facebook. So at that point, I'm like, all right, like I need to like really get into YouTube.
So you're broadcasting to Instagram and Facebook only.
At that point, it was actually YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok.
I'm gonna guess you probably made the most money off TikTok.
Yeah, so I was actually no.
Interesting.
Now that I think about it, so I had a short, one of my first shorts in like the first week of me starting on YouTube, like on my old YouTube channel, but my first week posting gambling. One of my shorts like blew the fuck up, and I didn't even notice. I just like saw my YouTube studio and like look at my analytics, and it's like plus 50K subscribers in the last 7 days. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And is this a glitch? Like, what the fuck?
And like every day I would have like an extra 25,000 subs, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And sure enough, within a week I hit 100K subs, and I was like, what the fuck? And I ended up just like looking at like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at that point, but I was looking at like my content list, and I was like, holy shit, this short has 50 million views, and as of today, it's like 102 million. It's crazy. That's definitely like my most viewed short.
Solid numbers, Bob.
So, and that short, I made like, I think my first month I made like $7,000 off of it. And then all these other shorts that were like getting millions of views too, I was making like a couple thousand. My first month of YouTube, I did $13,000 or $15,000. I was like, this is and remember, this is the first week, right? And that was like mid-May, which is 2 weeks into Bluff. So,
which is like, from when we recorded this 9 months ago, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing this for less than a year.
Yeah.
And right when you fucking started, you're seeing fucking crazy YouTube monetization. We're like, whoa, okay, I'm seeing a fucking route here.
Just off of shorts too, like no long forms.
Which is crazy because shorts have the worst monetization on anything on YouTube.
1 million views is like $970.
which is crazy.
Yeah,
because
horrible.
like something even slightly like something that's not a short that gets that amount, you're like,
Rich.
you're getting tens of thousands.
Yeah, you're
like,
rich. Yeah. So, this around that time. This is when I first started filming table games. So like Boulder Bets, he ended up getting me into El Cortez. So I like at my work in Arizona, I was like, hey, I need a couple of days off. I'm going to Vegas. And I told my boss, I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, it's going to be cool. Like, I'm taking off. I had like 9,000 followers on Instagram when I went to Vegas to film at El Cortez.
Okay.
By the time I got back, 3 days later, I had 20K. And I told my boss, I was like, hey, I need more days off next week. And he basically forced me to resign. He's like, you need to like
make a choice.
Yeah, I think you need to get out of this industry and you need to focus on that because this is not what you want to do for the rest of your life. So he's very honest. He's a really cool guy. His name's Derek.
A solid boss.
Yeah, no, his name. Yeah, shout out to Derek.
What a solid dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully he watches this and sees it. But yeah, Derek is awesome.
Fuck yeah, Derek. Good job.
Yeah. So he basically was like, I need you to sign this paper and say you're resigning. And I was like, all right.
Oh, interesting.
Sign the papers. And I was like, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, I'll come grab my tools in a couple of days. Mind you, the day before or the night before, we had just got back from Vegas from filming. So I go home. I tell my girl, and I was like, hey, I'm taking like a long lunch today, which is like an inside joke because I got fired the first time. I was like, yeah, a long lunch. But, so I was like, yeah, I'm taking a long lunch today. She's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, we got to go back to Vegas. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, I quit. Like, we're fucking going back to Vegas. And so then I lived at El Cortez for a month, pumping content, like 3 shorts a day on every
Living
platform.
in the hotel?
Living in the hotel. Yeah. Adam, he's a really good friend of ours now. He's super cool, and he totally understands social media and like influencers and everything, and he's just badass. He's a super cool person. And he like saw the vision that I like saw and what I wanted to implement. And like he allowed me because he was like, you are going to be fucking huge one day. This is like my second weekend. He's like, you're going to be huge. Like, I want you to film here. Like, I want to help you in every way possible. You're going to be huge.
Fucking A. And this is like right around when Vegas Matt started popping off, right?
Vegas. So I know Vegas Matt started like a year before I did.
Okay.
I don't know when he initially started popping off. He might have been around maybe like 500K subs when I started. I don't entirely remember.
Here's the question. When you started recording at El Cortez, were they selling Vegas Matt merch yet?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They were.
So he was doing well.
Yeah, he was doing well. Yeah, shout out to Matt and his team. I mean, they're killer.
Yeah, dude, fucking trailblazers.
Yeah.
They're showing people what's possible.
Yeah, they smashed it. So, yeah, kudos to them. But
So you're living in El Cortez for a month. Adam sees your vision.
Yep.
Are these rooms comped or what?
Rooms comp.
Fuck
yes.
yeah, dude.
Rooms
All right.
comp, free food. I'll be very transparent. I'm
Fuck
very
yeah.
transparent in every aspect. Like, everything is free. No payment, no free play, none of that shit. I mean,
Okay.
if I would like to lose 20K in like 3 days, you'd give me like $500 in free play. Like,
Okay.
so nothing like super crazy, but
Right. Like
you
a
know.
basic comp structure. Like what anyone else would get.
any casino would offer it. And then I would just use that free play to make a video with. So
Right.
like, I'm not making shit, you know?
Right.
But like, everyone thinks that like I play with casino money, which is false. I get paid by the casinos, which is false. I'm not on anyone's payroll. I'm employed by Bluffin Bob LLC. That's it.
Yeah, dude, I remember talking to you about monetization, and you're just like, oh, dude, I turn down everyone. I don't fucking... I'm like, it's crazy that you're able to keep this all going with just your own pirate ship. Like, you're not dependent on anyone except for you.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing like the brand deals, like we've talked about before.
Right.
I'm not opposed to doing brand deals, but like, I don't want to like, I don't know, shill like all this like, you know, like there's like those mystery boxes online. Those are like
Right.
10% house edge, and then they got caught like kind of like scamming their customers. Like, if I promoted that, then I'm a piece of shit. Like I can't promote that. There's no way. And
Right, you
like,
actually have a conscience and like
Yeah.
morals about
Yeah, exactly.
what you're having your audience like
Yeah.
think that you're into. Like, you wouldn't promote anything that you wouldn't do yourself.
Exactly. And it's
Great
it's-
mentality.
Yeah, it's kind of hard in the gambling space because I'm fucking gambling, and like I understand that people see it and they're like, oh, like I can do that. But I mean, you know,
I got a certain dick pill company I'd like you to do.
yeah. It's not Viagra, but it's this one. But like, I don't know. I think it's cool to like show people the real sides of gambling. Like, you know, there's losses, there's wins. Like,
Right.
it's fun. You banter with your friends. You just, you know. And then, fortunately, we're in this position where YouTube revenue covers it, and we can continue growing and continue pumping out content, which is the goal. Like, we just want to make as much content as possible because truly, my mindset is I want to take over the gambling space. I want to be like the face of gambling. Vegas Matt's like the face of gambling.
Right.
I want to get to that. I want to be the face of gambling. So,
you're so much younger, dude. It's ripe. It's ripe.
Yeah. Like I love this shit. Like I really
respectfully younger.
I am like truly a degenerate. I mean, maybe on the cusp of addicted, but I mean, I love entertaining. I love gambling.
You're not addicted. You're invested.
Dedicated. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. Which is crazy. I mean, this year I'm up too. I'm up thousands,
dude.
Which is crazy.
I fucking love to hear it.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. Okay, so you have completed your 1 month residency at the El Cortez. What happens after that?
So, their limits became too small. I ended up they approved me for up to 10K, right? Which is plenty. But I was trying to do blackjack, and they don't have a high limit blackjack rules. So like stand all 17s. Anything over 7K, I couldn't double or split, like if I needed to.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the highest I got there was $6,900, and that was the video that fucking blew up, by the way.
Okay.
100 million.
Fuck yeah.
So, and then I didn't want to do like $8,000 roulette spins on a double zero roulette. So I ended up going to Resorts World at that point because they have the higher limits, better odds. So I lived at Resorts World for maybe 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, and kind of same deal, like you talk to their host and like they know what's going on.
Yeah, they comped the room for me. I didn't really get many comps at Resorts World because I was actually winning there. All of my big bets, I was like smashing them. So I was up like 40K at Resorts World in like a
run. All right.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. So they just gave me a free room, no free food or anything. And then during this whole like series,
you having steaks every night or what?
No, God, no. I'm having like street tacos across the street. And,
smart, dude.
Yeah.
Smart.
But, I mean, I wouldn't mind a steakhouse. No, so as I'm growing and like all this shit's taking off and I can't even like grasp it right now. It's like, it's crazy. Like I'm starting to get recognized in casinos and all these other casinos are starting to finally reach back to me like, hey, like you can film here, all this shit. Cause they understand the power of social media.
Right.
So, as all this is going on, 4th of July comes around, and I fucking love blowing up fireworks. Like 2 years ago, I had like $30,000 in fireworks. It was fucking, yeah. It was.
I bought $500 worth of fireworks when I moved to Texas. I'm like, this is big baller Bob over here.
Yeah.
We don't get this in California.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. Allegedly, I went to Pahrump with a U-Haul truck and filled that shit up with fireworks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. I ended up selling a bunch of it. And then we just, for 6 hours, nonstop. I'm talking, 10 at a time. It was fucking crazy.
Are you guys, going out in the middle of the desert? Or you
no, God, no. Just in front of my house. Allegedly.
Good relationships with the neighbors, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, they were all out there on their camper chairs just fucking, having a great time. And
4th of Bluffin.
Yeah.
Right, that was bad. That was stupid.
So last year on 4th of July, this is my first time ever. I'm like, hey, let's go do it legally on an Indian reservation, on, a fireworks shooting site.
Uh-huh.
So I go out and I spent $3,000 worth of fireworks. We just loaded the cart. The fireworks store is right here in the where you can launch them are right over here. So we wheel our shopping carts over, unload everything, pop open the chairs. It just starts to get dark, so we can start lighting our shit off. I swear to God, I open my chair, set it down. These kids that are next to us, but they lit their firework way too fucking close to us, out in the desert. They light it, firework tips over, pointing directly at us. Everyone ducks except me. My stupid ass. It's totally my fault. But
I'd put some blame on the kids. I'd put just a little blame on the kids.
Well, I just know to duck next time. That's it.
Fuck them kids, dude.
Fuck them kids. But shit tips over and shoots a mortar right in my eye.
Holy shit.
So from that point, I at this point, right, I'm most excruciating pain in my life, and I've been through some fucked up shit. I've broken my ankle. I've busted
mortar
my teeth.
explodes in your eye.
Yeah, it didn't explode. It only hit me. Yeah, it only hit me, and then fucking I don't know what the fuck.
It just ricocheted off, exploded somewhere else,
I
but just
have
the
no idea.
impact.
Yeah, just the impact hit me in the face. I thought I broke my teeth, and then it felt like my eyeball exploded. And I'm like, oh, I'm flipping the fuck out. Brandon, he's laughing his ass off because he thought just a spark got in, like, you know.
It was like, happens to all of us, Bob.
Like, so he's just like chuckling or whatever, and I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm rolling on the ground, like, I'm like, oh my fucking God, like.
He's like, get up, pussy.
Yeah. So, at this point, I'm like, bro, my eyeballs exploded. Like, I don't have an eyeball anymore. So, a couple seconds later, I somewhat calmed down. And I'm like, look, can you look in my eye? And everyone looks in my eye, and they're just like, oh. And I'm like, oh my God, my eyeball's gone.
That's not good.
Yeah. I was like, my eyeball's gone.
You hear a gasp, but not them calling you a pussy. You're like, oh shit, this is turned.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, bro, my eyeball exploded. And then, like, the shock kicks in. And I'm like, fucking, like, I can't stand. I'm like lightheaded. My body starts going numb. So like they carry me over, or they kind of walk me over to the EMS that they have on site. Mind you, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They have it's 110 degrees out. They have boiling hot saline in their like EMS truck. And they're just like, they don't have a flush or anything. They take like this. They take it off and they're just pouring it in my eye. Boiling hot saline. Now,
is it like a cavity in your eye at this point, or is it just fucking like shreds of eyeball?
No, it's no. This is my eye.
Okay.
No, my eye was fine. My eye's there.
Okay.
It was all red.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is. I was gonna say, dude. I'm like, yo, they matched you up real good.
Yeah. No, it was so like my eyeball didn't explode. My eye was there. It was just really red. So EMS, they didn't know what they were doing. So Brandon ended up rushing me to the UMC, which is the trauma center there at in Vegas. So we went to ER. As soon as they wheel me in, I'm like lightheaded. Like we're in the car, like the girls are in the back seat, and I was like, they're talking. I was like, can you guys please like not talk for a second? I'm like focusing on trying not to throw up right now because of all the trauma I just took and like the pain, like in your head, like. It just makes you
throbbing and shit.
Yeah, it just makes you want to throw up. So I'm like on the cusp. I'm like hanging on to dear life, not trying to throw up in this guy's car. So we get to UMC. They put me in a wheelchair. They wheel me into the back. The nurse wheels me into the back. As soon as I get in the back, I stand up, throw up in this trash can, and I felt like way better. But like I was like in pain still. So I ended up like.
Wait, was the pressure of puking? Did that like for a second like? Oh God.
Oh yeah. So like,
did you have to hold your eye in as you were puking?
As I was throwing up, it felt like crazy. Like it felt like my eyeball was falling out. But like the whole time I'm like this. So I'm like covering my eye, kind of holding it. And I'm like freaking out. So they set me on the hospital bed. Everyone is sitting in the waiting room. And I end up taking a picture and posting my story, and like I saw my eyeballs fucked. It was like, I'll send you a picture of it too. Like they thought it was like the yellow pus. That was like some medicine they put in to like dye. So they did like some quick research. They looked at me. They had the one of the eye doctors that was on call. He had to drive here to the hospital. He looked at me real quick and he's like, yeah, just come see me in the morning, which is like 6 hours later because it's like 2 a.m. by the time I get out. So we wake up, we go to the doctor's office the next day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I can't see shit in there, because there's so much blood inside my eye. They can't do like an ultrasound or anything. They can't see a thing." So we get back to we leave the doctor's office, get back to Resorts World. My girl's like, "Yeah, we're not living here anymore. We're gonna go stay at my mom's house because like you need to be careful, like no cigarette smoke and everything. Like kind of just like be healthy, right?"
Oh yeah, fuck.
So I go see another doctor, and they still can't see much, but they're like, yeah, we have to just wait for 2 weeks. Just, keep coming like twice a week, but we have to wait 2 weeks until we can actually see anything. We got to let some of the blood drain. Because, like I said, the eyeball, the center of your eyeball is like empty. It's an empty cavity, and it was just filled with blood, so they can't see shit. So, 2 weeks go by, they can see a little bit. They're like, oh, yeah, I think they did an ultrasound. They're like, yeah, your lens is dislocated. We got to remove that, but we have to wait for the eye to heal. So like a month, end of July, I get like my first surgery, and they put me under, thank God. But they cut my eye open, and they pull it's basically a contact lens inside your eye. That's what focuses everything.
Right.
So they pull the lens out of my eye. They suck all the blood out, stitch me up. 2 days later, I'm like getting like the craziest pain at like midnight. So from midnight till like 8 a.m. the next day, I'm like suffering. I couldn't sleep. I'm suffering. I have like the craziest migraine. I threw up like 6 times overnight. just dry heaving and everything. And we go to the doctor's office. My eye pressure is at 50. Normal is 10, by the way. So my eyeball's bulging, rock hard, and
Holy
I feel
shit.
like shit.
Can you visibly see it in the mirror where you're like, this is coming out of my...
literally coming out of my like eyelids and my eye socket.
Fuck.
So they're like trying to give me medicines and shit. Nothing's working. So they like got me in contact with another doctor, and he was able to like poke a needle in my eye to like drain it. It was crazy, but he drained it and it gave me like some relief for like a couple hours. And he's like, yeah, come in later today. We're gonna do an emergency surgery. We're gonna do like, I ended up having traumatic glaucoma, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna put a shunt in your eye because your eye's not draining, so it's building all this pressure. And he's like, yeah, glaucoma is like normal for like 60-year-olds, but I was like, I had force. My drains got damaged from the impact.
Right.
So
other 60-year-olds that have shot off fireworks into their eyes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I got the second surgery, and mind you, this is like my fear. I'm not afraid of anything. I'll do anything. This is the only thing that I hate, and I've seen videos and I hate watching it. Eye surgeries, you have to do it awake, except my first one. But so this one I had to do
be
awake.
awake for this one,
and like you can't use like anesthesia and pain, like all this crazy shit, because they're not like a hospital. So they're doing it in their own practice. So they give me like a pill to like calm me down, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucked.
Is that pill called Dilaudid? Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it just calms you down. And like
a Xanny?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, to be honest.
Jesus.
They're like, yeah, here's a full one, but just take half. And I was like, take the whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah, I lost the other half somewhere.
Yeah, but so they're doing the surgery. I'm awake. They like tape my face off, right? And they just have my eyeball sticking out, but I can't see anything except blue tape or whatever. So they're cutting open my eye, and he's like fucking heavyweight, bro. It's the craziest thing ever. And he's like, okay, you're gonna feel this, and I'm like, what?
I've been feeling all of this.
Yeah, he's like fucking doing some, I don't know what he's doing, but it's like putting weight on my head and like shoving shit. I don't know what he's doing. But it hurts like hell. And I have like this little squeeze ball, and he has like a little speaker on me. He's like, oh yeah, like what's your favorite band? Like what music do you want to play to like calm me down? I was like, oh, let's go like with the Temptations. And you know, Temptations are going on. I'm like squeezing this fucking thing. I'm like, oh my God, like, and like 5 times he had to do that. He had to like, he's like, all right, you're gonna feel this.
Holy shit.
It was horrific, but I'll tell you what. As soon as he was done, I was like, that was fucking worth it, because I was in the most excruciating pain for a week.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So all awake, you know, eye surgery. It was horrible, but I was fine after, and I was like, thank God. And then, you know what he tells me after? He's like, yeah, this is like an 80% success rate, so let us know if you feel any more pain. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why didn't you tell me that before we fucking did this?
Yeah. So I was like, God damn it. And then,
if it didn't work, was the next thing just like a glass eye or something?
I have no idea. I was ready.
Scary questions, not trying to ask them.
No. I was ready. I was in so much pain. I was ready to just be like, bro, just pull my shit out, please.
Yeah.
I'm already blinded, and like, who cares? Like, but yeah, the surgery ended up working.
Cool. Great. Congrats.
So far. But yeah, I mean, now it's just, you know, now that's just doctors every month, and now I got to wear like a 9X glass.
Jeez. Wait, so
I still can't even see that well.
But it is like blurry. You see some sort of shit.
Yeah. Like I can like kind of see like your glasses and stuff, but it's like really, really blurry.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. But
now, while all this is happening, are you still putting up content, or is it like you're taking?
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Fucking suffer. Go through it. Just fucking do it.
Right. You were telling me that like the some of your earlier shit, you had like that Waterworld eye patch on.
Yeah,
that was like a metal mesh thing.
Yeah. Yep. And everyone was like, why are you wearing a sink strainer on your eye? But you know, as soon as it happened, right, the next day I have this sink strainer on my eye. We all meet up together, and we're like, bro, this is like the greatest thing ever, because it's like gonna be fucking great clickbait.
Solid brand.
Yeah. It's fucking great clickbait.
Bring it back.
Yeah, right. I might have to. So, you know, I'm pumping out videos with the fucking eye patch and everything, and then, you know, through my second surgery, you know, I was slowing down on content a little bit, but I was still posting like pretty much every day.
Now, what does that mean, slowing down on content? Because you said pretty much posting every day. So is it like now every other day?
So I would like some days I was like, not feeling the greatest. So like I just wasn't on my phone at all. So maybe 1 week I'd miss like one day. Yeah.
Okay,
slow down a little.
So not slowing down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it went from 3 shorts a day to 1 short a day.
Okay.
So I can make my content
last
longer. Oops.
All right.
Yeah, so I just need to make my content last longer. So I went from 3 shorts a day to 1 short a day, and then like sometimes I'd miss a day throughout the week. And then as I got better, kind of around my birthday, which is like early August, that's when I started like grinding it again. And then I like really hammered YouTube because at that point I wasn't even doing long forms that much. I was doing maybe like 3 a week.
Right, you're just doing short forms, like minute-long thing on
Yep.
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
And TikTok.
And TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I started like hammering the long form YouTube every single day since August. Just like nonstop.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like you're doing anywhere between like 15-minute videos to like hour-long videos. Like, what is the range of this longer content?
I try not to do 15-minute videos. If I do a 15-minute video, people are like, why is it so short?
Right.
What?
Oh, cool. You're just gonna double up and walk away.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Fuck
right.
you, dude.
Oh,
Why
you're
don't
gonna
you gamble?
you're gonna book a win that fast, pussy. No, like, which sucks because like I do like making long videos. I really try to make my videos at least 30 minutes long. So like I can book a win instantly, but I like have to keep filming, and then I always just lose my ass.
So is that like when if you book a win super early, you're like, cool, we'll have that for short content, or is it like you just know as soon as you start hitting record, this is the long one?
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I hit record, we are filming long, and then like sometimes I'll do like something crazy, like I'll do $1,000 blackjack hand like in the long form. Like if I'm up a lot, then I'll pull my second phone out and film it as a short. I'll be like, hey, like you guys get the behind the scenes of a short. I try to double dip just to keep costs lower.
Right.
Because the gambling is really expensive.
Yeah.
But luckily we got to the point in YouTube where it's it's covering pretty much everything, and then it's gotten to the point where I'm gonna have Brandon quit his job hopefully this week, and it's full time, and then we just pump content like crazy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Get him out of the fucking mechanic industry because that shit sucks.
It sounds like it. Are you doing the same fraud that Bluff was doing?
Oh, he's still employed. He's still employed. He's still employed.
No way, not by the time this will come out. Okay.
Allegedly.
So, posting stuff like every single day, and here's the other thing that's also like I'm loving to see is that you are now starting to collaborate. You have all these other gambling influencers that you're doing stuff with. Like there's Vegas Matt that I've seen you do stuff with. There's Mark Loves Casinos, which is like he's a fucking riot to watch. There's Bretsky. Like, how do you meet these people? How do those connections get made?
So, I mean, I met a lot of them because everyone, if you're a gambling influencer, you eventually go to Vegas to make content because, I mean, it's like the hub, basically. Right. So anytime they come in, they just like DM me or I DM them if I see them, or Brett already knows them, so they just connect. So that's pretty much just how that goes. I've met damn near everyone in the gambling space just from them coming to Vegas. I haven't really traveled much to like go meet anyone yet. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's gonna change.
I feel so privileged.
Yeah. No, you're actually the first person I've traveled to like meet.
Fucking A,
actually.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. But yeah, I mean, once Brandon's full time, we're gonna, like I've told you, we're gonna start that travel series. So once a week, we're gonna be flying to like some fucking random hick ass city or something, and just film like we're just trying to make like sick ass videos.
Dude, how fucking exciting! If you guys are looking for a third hand,
hey, I know I'm trying to like build like a crew. I think it's super cool. Like I have my friend Chris doing it too. Side Quest is like his character name.
Yeah, I remember fucking Side Quest Chris. Fucking good shit.
Yeah, so he's like in it now, and he's making his own YouTube videos. So I'm kind of just helping guide him, like building his brand, because I want all my friends to succeed, but I also don't want to just like baby them.
Right.
And I don't want to just like build his brand off of my brand. I want him to like do his own thing.
Right.
So
like,
I
don't replicate my formula. Figure out what your formula is.
Yeah. People are different, but I'll help him like start growing his audience, and everyone loves him because he's super relatable. He'll gamble $20.
Right.
So like that's super fucking relatable. So I think he's gonna do really good.
Is there anything you want to go ahead and plug? Anything that you want into the camera? Anything that you want to promote?
Yeah. I mean, you can check me out on Instagram at Bluff. YouTube is Bluffin Bob. TikTok is Bluffin Bob. And I mean, if you like gambling, It's not just craps. I mean, I do a lot of craps, but if you like gambling, you can just follow the best guy right here.
All right, that concludes part 1 of the interview with Bluff. I'd like to thank everyone that you're seeing on screen right now. They're all producers of the show. Without their help, it'd be much harder to do this as regularly and consistently as I do. If you'd like to become a producer of the show, you can go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description below. And with that, we'll see you next week with the more nitty-gritty stories of the wars that are had at craps tables. We'll see you next week.